Hey guys and Magic back again, and sorry I cut off the last video after going through Untamed. So let's continue with the Market Watch with the deep dive. So I left off with Untamed, the core and reward cards. Actually, let's do the promo cards next. So your promo cards, you've got Halfling Alchemist sitting at $1.98, Chain Golem at $3.60, Mighty Dricken at $1,333. And then your gold foil, Halfling Alchemist at $2.10 and Chain Golem at $3.95. And then let's move on to dice. So your dice cards are 2 cents to 18 cents. Flamesmith has been the one that's been the most expensive over the last couple of months, just because it has the shatter ability right away at level 1, so it's more in demand. And then Battering Ram's usually number 2, just because it's a neutral card that has opportunity. So this might be another good card to pick up in survival mode, just to get a cheap opportunity card. Looking at rares, as I mentioned in part 1, Mylor, he's back over $3 again. Let's see how many copies are available. So you've got quite a few in the $3 range, $3.66 to $3.80. So lots of copies of Mylor available. Unfortunately, no more $1.50 Mylors, at least currently. So your other summoners, Vera, Oyster, well, Ouster sitting at 25 cents is actually a pretty good deal. It's usually Vera and Quid are the bottom two. Oyster I've seen, I keep calling him Oyster, like 30 to 50 cents. So he's actually a pretty good deal. Let's see how many of him there are. So there's a few. So you've got, what, 7 copies, and then he jumps up to $1.30. So if you're looking to pick him up, you've got a little bit of time to do so before other players grab him up. Bright and Bloom sitting at 48, Lorna Shine at 66. Looking at your epic cards, nothing too fancy here. These are usually, 25 to 40 cents. They're still right in that range. And then your legendary cards, Pona, that was 35 to 50 for quite a while, is now settled down in the low 20s. Once again, she's at 21.78, and Krallis is under 17 at 16.49. So those are a couple of the key dice legendary cards. And then looking at your gold foils, 52 cents to $1.45 seems about right. The only thing that's kind of strange about this is Flamesmith is the highest normal foil, but it's only 70 cents gold foil. So this might be a good pickup to pick up a Flamesmith gold foil for only 70 cents. Then your rares, which are your summoners, you can pick up a gold foil Quid for $2.20. Wow. There's actually 3 single copies under $3. Not bad. Lorna Shine under 6, Vera at $5.50. Look at this, Ouster under Vera as far as price, just under $5. So I think any of these gold foil summoners are a good price. You can get them around $5 or less. That's pretty good. And then Mylor's sitting at 18. Your epic cards, 10 to $20 for your 3 epics. And then finally your legendary cards. You'll notice there's usually not a gold foil Epona. I can't remember the last time I saw one. So you've got these two at 300, and you've got Krallis sitting at 182.50. Okay, so that's it for dice. So now we can move on to Chaos Legion. So for Chaos Legion, let's start with just the core and then the first round of reward cards. So as you might expect, the commons are still sitting in the $1 to 6 cent range where they have been for quite a while. The only ones that are really above a penny, as you can see here, some key cards like Deep Lurker and Goblin Psychic, the Healer, Disintegrator, because it has that Demoralize, Chaos Agent, Supply Runner being 2 good neutral cards. Other than that, they're all still a penny. For your rares, 2 cents for some of your reward cards, all the way to your summoners, which are still pretty affordable, 10 cents for Brood and Sloan. Kelly's come down since I did the first part of the Market Watch. It was at like 23 cents, now it's down to 18. So still can pick up some Chaos Summoners for survival mode. Your epics, 10 cents is kind of the floor. So 10 cents for your epics, up to 22 cents for Wave Brood. And then finally for your legendary cards, just under 50 cents is the floor. If it Rising, Desert Dragon, Iza are sitting at 50 cents. Genoshanis is actually at 51. All the way to, and I still can't get over, I know this is super overprinted, but just to see a legendary summoner for $1.50 and Yasik for $1.85, Lily Shield Paul under 3, and these two have come down slightly in price too, just over $3. Your gold foil versions, your gold foil commons start off at 13-14 cents, all the way up to, most expensive is once again Scavo Hireling sitting at 82 cents. One thing I like to do as well is look at how many max copies are on the marketplace. So as you can see here, max gold foil commons from Chaos Legion, which are a great choice for land. Some of the copies are starting to dry up. We only have single copies or 2 copies, only 1 Pelacor Bandit. The Conjurer, though, there's 8 max copies available, so there's still a few, but then, once you get past these first couple rows, now you start getting to $8 plus, and then like a key card like Deep Lurker, you're sitting there at $10.68. And then Cruel Cephalopod and Kulu, the only 2 on the market, just single copies. You can see people are asking $35 because they're the only ones here. So that's it for your max level commons. So let's go back to the rares. So now you start hitting about 60 cents for the floor for gold foil rare from Chaos Legion. All the way up to, of course, it's going to be your summoners, will be a couple of the more pricey ones, but still, you can pick up a General Sloan and Thaddeus Brood for just around $1. There's Obsidian Kelia sitting at $1.35 and $1.75, and Tarsa at $1.23. Gold foil epics, my favorite choice for land. I kind of ignore usually the neutral cards because I look for the ones that have the splinter bonus. So the first one that comes on the market that is Life is $3.59. So I'm looking at about $3.50 up to $7.50 are for single gold foil epics for land. So not bad. And if you look at max level copies, there's only a couple of each of these for sale, and they run basically from 30 to 50 bucks. But once again, if you ignore the neutrals, now you're looking at, basically $37 to $50 for a max gold foil epic. That'll give you 6,000 production points. And then let's look finally at the gold foil. So your gold foil floor is still just under 20 bucks. So 18 for the Legionnaire, almost 19 for Chaos Dragon and Spirit Hoarder. Quix the Devious, gold foil summoner for 20 bucks. So your most expensive single copy of Adelaide Brightwing for $82. Other than that, the next most expensive is Void Dragon at $50. So once again, I love looking at what the summoners are. $20 to $35 for a gold foil Chaos Legion summoner. Okay, so now let's look at the Soulbound cards, so the current cards, or the last Chaos Legion, I should say, not the current ones, because those would be Rebellion. Okay, so 5 to 7 cents for the commons. Pretty normal there. The rares, 22 to 34. So most of the summoners are now above 30 cents. You've got Loblolan, you've got Franz, you've got Helios, all sitting above 30. Brune. Your epics starting getting a little more pricey, $1.21 to $1.60, but still not too bad. And your legendaries, the floor is $5 for Musa Celine, all the way up to Duskblight being at $8.94. And you will notice one of them is not available for sale. Let's look at the gold foils. So your gold foil commons, Firecaller, $1.19, all the way up to the Grunt sitting at, look at this, $9.40. 10 copies available. Is that for a single BCX? Yes, it is. So for some reason, single BCX of this card is almost 10 bucks, when all the other ones are $1 to 2.50. So your rares sitting at just under $6 to $9.50 for Pembroke Nymph. Your epics, $29.99 for Evelyn, up to $85 for the Dragon card. You can see here, I believe there was 7 of them, right? So there's one that is not listed for sale. And then finally your legendaries, $135 for Musa Celine, up to $550 for a single copy of Avis. And you'll notice too, there's only 7 of the 12 gold legendaries available for sale, and there's only 1 or 2 copies for most of these cards. Okay, so that's it for Chaos Legion. Let's look at the promos. So regular foil, Archimus and Bruise sitting at 7 and 11 cents, Oshure at 7.71, Dr. Blight under $10 at 9.50. Zerial's come down to 13.35 this week. Waka sitting at 165, and Lux Vega at 194 and 99 cents. And the gold foil versions, Bruise at $1.22, Archimus the Bear at $1.39, Dr. Blight at 50, Oshure at 100, Zerial at 105, Waka at $777, and then Lux Vega, once again, $3,150. Okay, so that's it for Chaos Legion. Let's get to Rift Watchers. So Rift Watcher Commons, 2 to 9 cents seems about right. That's where they have been for the last few weeks. Your rares, 7 cents to 24 cents. Queen of Crows is still the highest price rare. Your epics, which are your summoners, Dallin and Aquatis continue to be the lowest two, 21 and 24 cents. And then Ilthane is just above $1 at $1.02. And then finally your legendary cards. And this kind of surprised me because Runemancer is usually the cheapest card, the least desirable. $1, $1.20 seem to be the normal price. So I'm not sure exactly why that one is shot up to $3.15. Is that for a single BCX? Yeah, and there's quite a few at $3.15, $3.24. So not quite sure why this card is spiked in price unless someone found a use for it. Once again, though, Inevitable is the highest priced card at just over $18. So now let's look at the gold foils. So your gold foil commons starting at 14 cents up to $1.13 for Whelp Herder. Gold rares, I mentioned this in part 1, basically 75 cents to a little over $2, and then you have only 1 copy of the Water Collar, and it's sitting at $15. But this is for a level 4 or 5 BCX, so it is only $3 per BCX, but it is the only one on the market, no single copies available. Your epics, $4.53 for Skargor, up to $11.40 for Ilthane. And then finally your legendary golds, $23.51 for Mortius, up to $500 for Inevitable. So he is your highest price gold foil, and that is for a single BCX. But there is a max copy available for $5.50. Okay, so now let us go to Rebellion. So Rebellion Core. So the 4 and 5 cent common cards are pretty much gone. It looks like we're almost to the point where Rebellion is 7 cents and higher for the commons. And the high-end commons, like the summoners, that had been, 25, 30 cents up to 30, 38 cents, somewhere in that range. Now you've got Zedica pushing 48 cents. So the only summoner below 30 cents currently is Chull, sitting at 28. So these are starting to tick up ever so slowly. Lurking Puffer is still sitting at 68 cents or 26 cents. The Magician sitting at 27 cents for your commons. Your rares start at 11, 12 cents and then quickly jump to 16. All the way up to $2.20. So once again, Moxian Rebel is above $2. Avena of the Wolf, This card had been in, right around $1, just above $1, but now you can see this card is starting to move. $2 plus per BCX. Same thing with Underboss Fabino. When he was 50 to 60 cents, I thought he was a good buy. Now he is $1 plus. There are a lot of max copies available on the marketplace, though, for right around that 50 to 55 cent BCX range. But then you have to shell out the money to get a max level card. Prophet Rosa, same thing. She'd been 35 to 45 cents per BCX, but now single copies are quickly hitting 80 cents plus. Once these 4 cards sell out, you're looking at 79 cents for the floor. And there are no max copies of her. In fact, the only non 1 BCX card, there's a level 5 40 BCX for $25. Other than that, they're all just single BCX. So some of these summoners are starting to dry up. Next, go to the rares, the epics. So now you're looking at 58 cents for Red Worm Hatchling, all the way up to $2.25 for Captain Felblane. Iron Hood has hit $2. I think he's going to stay at 2 or more just because of the weapon trading ability. He's kind of a key card that everyone should have just 1 copy of. Same thing with Palace, being flying, neutral card, with reach. This is a very good card. So right around $2 seems about right. Same thing with Toledo. Toledo should be right around $2 because it's going to be the new tank heal for Earth. And then finally your legendary cards, 230-ish is the floor for the legendary cards, all the way up to, and earlier today the only Riscal Drath on the marketplace was a max copy for 500. Since then there is now a single copy, but still $85 is way overpriced for a single copy of that card. That's usually in the $15 to $18 range. So definitely don't pay $85 for Riscal Drath for a single BCX. We went through the prices of all the cards in part 1, but I want to just kind of have this on the screen so we can look at how many cards are in circulation and then how many of these legendaries are actually on the marketplace. Okay, so now we will go through the gold foil versions. So for your gold foil commons, 61, 65 cents is the floor for the commons, all the way up to your summoner cards and some other key cards like Lurking Puffer are going for right around $3.50 to $4.50 for the gold foils. For your gold foil rares, they start at just above $1, $1.10, $1.22, all the way up to $13.39 for Moxie and Rebel. Avena of the Wolf, with the gold foil being 7, this is really a good deal because if you're going to pay $2 per BCX regular foil, 5 of those would be $10 for a level 2. So you might as well just go pick up a gold foil for 7 instead of buying 5 single copies for $10. Same thing with Underboss Fabino. He's getting kind of close to that too. For $1 per BCX, $5 for regular foil, 6 for a gold. So if his regular foils jump up too much more, that might be a good buy. Same thing with Prophet Rosa. If she's hitting 80 cents per BCX, you might as well go ahead and get gold foil for about the same price. So possibly a couple good deals here, but definitely Avena the Wolf I think is a good buy at that price. Epics, so you're looking at $7.74 for the Red Worm Dragon. Key cards, Captain Felblane is at 19. Iron Hood at 12, almost 13. That might be a good buy at that price. And then you've got Toledo sitting at 24 and Palace sitting at 23. And then finally your gold foils, 39 for Zabajin, 44 for Chaos Golem are the floor. Up to $400, no surprise, Eternal Tofu is the most expensive. Only 1 copy on the market. We went through the gold foil prices in part 1, but I just want once again to see just how rare some of these are. Like under 100 in circulation for the Squirrel, 99 for Venka. So there's not very many of these on the market. And there's only, I believe, a little over 70,000 unopened Rebellion packs. So remember, all these cards that are on the market are from, over 900,000 packs being opened. And there's only 100 and some of these in circulation. So opening another 70,000 isn't going to add a whole lot more to the supply. Maybe another, 10 or 15 at the most. So extremely rare cards. Okay, so that's it for Rebellion. Let's look at the reward cards next, and then we'll finish up with the promos. So for your reward cards, hey, look at this. These are your commons, and why are there only 8 of the 12 available for sale? Are these moving? Wow, and this is regular foil. I looked at this and I'm like, wait a minute, 95 cents for a regular foil? Okay, well, guys, if you have common reward cards that you want to sell, you might be able to put these on pretty quickly and sell them because there's not very many on the marketplace. And that has just happened in the last couple hours. Same thing for the rares. 3 of the rares are not listed for sale. Some of these, 55, 59 cents, they'll come down. They're usually in the 35 to 50 cent range. Commander Slade's usually the most expensive, right around 50 cents. So definitely an opportunity here to list some of your reward cards if you would like to sell them. Epics, you start getting a little more pricey, not too bad, usually right around $2. So you've got anywhere from $1.89 from the Weaver up to $2.20 for Olivia of the Brook. And then finally, for your legendaries, these are pretty much in the 10 to 11.50 range, and that is where they are currently. As you can see, the prices here and the amount in circulation. Okay, so let's look at the gold foil commons. So that's kind of weird. So the gold foil commons are all represented here, but the regular foil aren't. So the gold foil, you're looking at 206 to 338. And as I mentioned in part 1, there's only a single gold foil rare up for sale, the Legionary at $11.93. None of the other gold foils are for sale. I know they're a little bit more expensive to put on the marketplace, but if you're the only one, you might be able to sell them if you have the DEC to unlock them. Epics, 53.88 for Olivia, up to 58 for the best card in the set, Arachne Weaver. And then Legendary, there he is. There's our monkey. There's our $100,000 monkey. The card I never thought I would see, a gold foil Legendary card from the new Rebellion. Didn't think anyone would pay the, $100 and some cost in DEC to unlock it. But I tell you what, if you can sell it for $100,000, you demand. Okay. Hopefully I see him for quite a while. I just like saying $100,000 monkey. Okay, so after reward, we'll go to promo cards. So these are your regular foil promos. Went through all these in part 1, but just so we can kind of get a visual of how many cards are in circulation. So Mana Warden is sitting at 16 cents. You can see a ton of these on the market. 12,000 circulation. Enforcer sitting at 85 cents. Shaman, $1.80. You can see very good amount of these on the marketplace. The Moss Mender, $1.93. Night Stalker, $2.70. A lot fewer in the marketplace. Grimbard & Smith sitting at $3.50. Rune Arcanist, this card is kind of surprising. Very few on the market. It's a rare and it's trending up. It is up to $4 now. It's been going up over the last month and a half. Sanctus sitting at $4.39. Baron Fiat, your legendary sitting at only $4.50. Ulfka sitting at $16.74. Mantaroth, only 12 on the market. He's come down under 30. He's at $28.19. Fizbo the Clown sitting at $33.50. Nefget at $34.49. Delia at $48.74. Only 3 on the market though. Eleanor sitting at $49.50. Rick Loneman, $79.50, and I believe that's for a single BCX. Yes, it is. He is very hard to get. Do not see many copies of him on the marketplace. And Heloise, there's actually a Heloise for sale for $649. I think that's the first time I've seen Heloise on the market. Okay, and then your gold foil versions, Mana Warden at $268, Henchling at just above 4, Warborn Shaman $12.98, Moss Mender $13.50, Grimbard & Smith $13.72, another good buy if you want to buy just a level 2 instead of buying 5 normal foils. Go ahead and just buy the gold foil for that price. Night Stalker $17.89, Sanctus at $18.13, Baron Fiat trending higher for the gold foil. He's up to $45. Rune Arcanist at almost $50 for a rare. Ulfga 140, Mantaroth 155, Fizzbo at 269.99, Delia at 366, Nefget at 419, and finally Eleanor at $549, and no Rick Loneman for sale on the marketplace. Okay, guys, there you have it. There's actually part 3 of the card market watch for this week for January 19th, 2025. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you are getting ready for survival mode. You're getting ready for Conclave Arcana in a few months, and just looking forward to what I hope will be a great year in Splinterlands. So until next time, stay the course, keep on forging, and have fun, and I'll see you soon. Take care.